All right. Good morning. Happy Saturday. Happy first day of June. Can't believe we're already halfway through the year. I don't know where the time has gone already, but here we are. Welcome to today's Microsoft Flight Simulator live stream. I am your host and pilot, as always, lead singer and driver of the helicopter today. Not the aircraft, the helicopter. That's right. We are, for the first time, going to try. I've been practicing a little bit. It's not easy. But before we take off, I want to do a couple things. Hello, Nightwind Elf. Welcome. First time chat. Thank you. So for anybody who's interested, I had to do some research because I was just struggling trying to do all this. And so I found, I'm gonna post a link here. That's go to that YouTube channel. What's it called? Sim Hangar Flight Simulations. Explains things, kind of breaks it down, goes over how, if you're on the PC, how to set up your if you have a flight stick or whatever. If you're on the Xbox, it's automatically included for the controller. There's a helicopter setting for the controller, but for my flight stick, I had to map things out, which was a bit tedious, but I got through it. I kind of just did it step by step as he did it, and then so here we are. So I do want to give a shout out to. There we go. Go follow Nightwind Elf. Watched him earlier this week. I think it was on Thursday. I was in a stream. Plays guitar on stream and has a playlist. If you have a request or whatever, just totally chill. Really enjoyed it. So go give him a follow, please. I think he streams Tuesdays and Thursdays. But if you just want to kind of kick back and listen to somebody play guitar and have a laugh and just kind of chill out, there you go. What else? Oh, I want to give a shout out to No, you did awesome, dude. I was really impressed. It was fantastic. I mean, I tried learning to play the guitar years ago, but I can't get my left hand to quite go the way it's supposed to for, around the neck and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, you did a lot better than I could. Let's see who else. I do want to give another shout out to. I gotta make sure I do it correctly. Sometimes I forget how I spelled the shout out. Oops. It'd help if I put that in the. There we go. Go if you're not following Scruffy Tam already, and I think a lot of people are. I thought about that too, and I know somebody who had like a baby guitar. I can't remember the model of it. It was when I was in Iraq. This guy brought it. Hello, Joseph. But yeah, I just with my broken elbow though, it's kind of hard to do a lot of stuff. But yeah, so I have to. But yeah, it's. But no, it was great watching you. It was absolutely fantastic. So welcome, Joseph. We're gonna fly helicopter day. You asked me some time ago. I think it was like last year or year and a half ago or something. You were like, when are we gonna fly helicopters? The funny thing is, it was a new thing to the sim. I think when the 40th anniversary came out, there was a couple of helicopters was released with the 40th anniversary. But it hasn't really kind of been a big thing. Like there's some folks on YouTube who fly helicopters, but not many. Like I think it's just because it is a bit more hands-on than flying a plane. You got to pay a bit more attention. And I can tell you from experience, riding in a helicopter there's nothing else like it. I've been on three. I've been on a Black Hawk, I've been on a Chinook, and I've been on it was an old Russian transport helicopter that we used when I was in Afghanistan. When I went out to a different FOB, different location, we flew on these helicopters, and they were just beasts, But the flying in the Black Hawk, it's like you're riding in the sports car. The thing that I always remember was that if the air crew found out that it was your first time in a helicopter, they were going to do everything they could to try to make you sick. I don't know why that is, but that's always the thing, at least in Army aviation. If they find out that you've never flown on a helicopter before, they are going to turn it into a freaking roller coaster ride until you're throwing up all over the place. It's just one of those things. I don't know why, but it happens. But the Chinook is very stable. It's just this heavy, lumbering, kind of thing. But today we're going to fly the Mini 500 from Got Friends. Got Friends, I didn't know this until Monday. Got Friends is a veteran-owned company that does stuff for flight sim. On Monday, they were giving away a plane to military service members, veterans, first responders. Hello, Mela. And all that. So I got the Mini 500. It was super cheap, but it's a neat little helicopter. We'll get in here in just a minute, but all right. So now that we got all that out of the way, let's talk about what we're going to get ready to get into. So a few weeks ago, probably about 2 or 3 weeks. Yeah. The F4. Yeah, the F4F Wildcat or something like that it was. Yeah, I didn't know they were veteran owned until they talked about it in Scruffy's stream on Monday when I was flying with them. But I got this specifically for today. It's a neat little helicopter. But anyway, so I was watching TV, streaming basically, and was watching this program. It was called The World's Most Scenic Railway Journeys. And I think there was only like 4 seasons of it. Anyway, they did this part in Italy where they leave from Genoa and they go. There's a railway that goes along the coast here, and it comes right into the Gira. You can see. I'm going to kind of zoom in here. There's the rail line right here, and it goes through a lot of tunnels and whatnot. There's the station for it, right? There's an area here. I think it's here. I tried to look it up. I tried to find the episode online and I couldn't. I was, wanting to verify all my information, but there's wineries there in the mountains. Like they have created, that's where they grow the grapes for the wine. And this one particular, I think it's 2 brothers. They do this winery in this region that it's on this side of this mountain kind of. And they created like their own little mini railway system to bring the grapes down to the bottom where they turned it into wine. And it was really like this absolutely fascinating stuff. And then they talked about this, it was a restaurant. This guy and his son go out fishing every morning for fresh fish for the restaurant. And when he comes back to the port, he sells, people will come and meet him as he gets off of his boat, and he sells the fish there it's just extra money for him, basically. And then the rest of it he takes to the restaurant. Him and his wife, it's like a seafood restaurant. It's very scenic. You sit there and you got the view, and but then there was another thing that they showed, which this was pretty cool. This guy decided he's a winemaker, and he sank his wine 50 meters below the surface. And he did a test one that he put it out there for 10 years. And then they went down to find it, these crates of bottles of wine, and over that 10-year period, the seabed had kind of formed around the crate. And so they had to clean it all away, get it all off, clear out the area, and then they could put these hoist, hooks and all that to bring it back up to the surface. And then, so he brought it up, and then he cracked this first bottle, and it's kind of sparkly. It's almost like a champagne, but not like super bubbly. But so he's the first one that's ever done that, to age his wine below in the water. So he takes it down he figured about 50. He was going to try 50 meters, which I think is roughly not even 100 feet, possibly. But really cool stuff. But if you, I don't know where it was available at. I tried looking for it, but anyway, it's not available on YouTube or anything like that. It's just kind of crazy. But anyway, so having said all that, so what we're going to do today, we're going to take off from Genoa. Now, this is an add-on scenery that I got because it has helicopter pads here to there, and then there's a hotel right here with a helicopter pad on it. But we're going to start up from this spot. It says we're going to take off from runway 28, but what I'm going to do is we're going to come right out here, stop, get permission to take off, and then we're just going to head out. We're going to come out this way a little bit, and then we're going to come back around. We're going to stay over the coastline here, and then we're going to make our way to Leggera. We're going to come through right about here. I'm going to try being the key word. I'm going to try to hover once we get there, so we can kind of check out the scenery and all that. And then we're going to continue on down the coast to here. I don't want to butcher any more names. I tried practicing Leggera last night. I don't know if I'm saying it right or not. And then we're going to continue down the coast to San Giusto, Pisa, basically. We're going to cross over the airport there, and then we're going to come through. We're going to kind of basically follow this river through, and then we're going to land in Florence. And then depending on how much time we've spent, it says it's about an hour 10 in the air. I don't know if that's really true or not. We may pop over into Dubai, go to the Burj Al Arab Tower, and we're going to try, if we got the time, we're going to go past the Burj Khalifa Tower, which is the tallest building in the world. And then we're going to land in Dubai at Dubai International. So we'll see how we get on with this. It's going to be a bit hectic at first. I'm just going to let you know now. It's a bit of a handful, but I've kind of gotten some sort of a feel for how to do it. I've gotten a little bit of practice under my belt, but bear with me. This isn't going to be perfect by any stretch of the imagination. So, but hopefully it'll be nice and scenic. I've turned off the weather. So hopefully we got clear skies and all that, so it should be fantastic viewing. So let's go ahead and get in here, and we'll get everything started up, and we'll be on our way. So I'll show you the helicopter first from the outside. I got to turn my controller back on because it had shut down while I was sitting here yakking. So So hopefully everybody's doing well today. Next Saturday, I'll be in the Spitfire D-Day flight. We're going to go from Lake Lockheath Air Base over towards Normandy, and then through Cannes, and then into Stuttgart. So do be ready for that. So let me get my controller going again here. All right, there we go. So now I can look up. So here's our helicopter. This is the Mini 500. It's a cute little helicopter, isn't it? It was a cute little helicopter. So it's just one person only. Now, I don't think this is something in real life. This is something that Got Friends kind of created, I think. I don't know for sure, but that's our ride for today. It's just me. So here's our airport behind us. So let's kind of look up above. I'll show you. So there's the way we're going to go out. We're going to head out that way towards, and this is like a huge port. Lot of shipping, it seems. There rail yards, I think, come through here for shipping. Let me refresh because I think it's just a little bit behind. I just want to make sure I'm okay. And then we're just going to fly on down. Basically we're heading through here. That's our first waypoint. But it's not like I've not created one. There's the hotel that I was talking about. There's the helipad on top. Now, the cool thing is, if you're flying a helicopter and if you spawn in on a helipad, your helicopter's all started up for you. You don't have to worry about all the pushing all the buttons and getting it going and all that. It's already taken care of. But I figured since this is a very basic helicopter, it doesn't take long to start up. So yeah, but there we are, Joseph. There's our little mini helicopter for today. So that's it. It's got a pretty small engine. I've filled up with the fuel. Should be filled up, but we'll double check once we get ready to go. I haven't flown one long enough to kind of get a feel for. Yeah, it's a pretty cool little helicopter, isn't it? So I don't know about the fuel usage. Let's go ahead and, matter of fact, let's go ahead and just make sure all right, we're completely filled up. All right, perfect. All right, so let's go ahead and get things started here. Let's get our battery on. Oh, there we go. And our generator, beacon, navigation light, and we'll go ahead and put our landing light on. And it's got this handy pad right here. So once it's got the flight plan already in it. Oops, that's zooming in. I want to zoom in a little bit. So there's basically our flight plan. It's got that magenta line. But so basically we're going to kind of use that as a guide. We're not so we're going to let the GPS find itself. While we're doing that, I got to skirt around the cyclic. It's not the flight stick, it's the cyclic. That's the proper term in a helicopter. We're going to put on our fuel valve, fuel pump, and that's it. And then all you have to do is go start. A puff of air out the tailpipe there. Don't have to worry about the altimeter because we got clear weather. today's route. Oh, and I didn't even look to see what server I'm on. Let's double check that, shall we? I didn't even look. Oh, it looks like Southeast Asia. Okay. Oh, that says West USA. We're on Southeast Asia, though. I don't know why I thought I changed it, but I guess I didn't. Okay, let's get back in here. Turn off our starter. Okay, so 2.8 is over that away, but like I said, we're gonna try it. This is a Matt Scruff. Matt Scruff. I don't know. I don't know who that is. All right, so this is the tricky part. I want to. Well, wrong chat. I was like, I'm like, who? What? Oh man. I'm like, who? Did I message or mention Matt? I'm like, huh? That's okay. It happens. Oh, I'm sorry. I put it on just so that I can try to catch stuff that people are saying. I usually have mods in the chat, but I put it on slow mode just so that if somebody asks a question or whatever, I can try to catch up to it. Okay, so the tricky part is, you don't need to put a lot of. You can't just go like full throttle right away because it's just you're gonna go straight up and then I'm gonna get yelled at because I don't have clearance to take off from here. So we just have to adjust things slowly. Come on, there we go. And we're just gonna swing around here. Just a nice, gentle. We're basically kind of hovering. That's all we're doing. Just a little hover over the ground to get to where, because we don't have wheels and we don't want to drag the skids across the ground because otherwise it's not going to go very well. And that's exactly what I'm doing. You can hear it a little bit. There we go. So we just want a little bit of above the ground. Otherwise, it's going to take forever. It took a lot of practice. I've been practicing. See, just on the taxiing alone, it's a bit of a challenge. Because all I need is just a little bit of forward on the cyclic, and then I gain speed. But see, I don't want to go too high. See, now I'm getting way up there, and that's almost like I'm taking off without permission. Ooh. So, see, they took it as a landing. I got the applause. No, we're not. The flight's not over yet. Don't hold the applause. Come on. That's going to be the tricky part. I don't know if my landing rate monitor is going to give me the, Okay, here we go. Okay. See? More applause. We haven't even done anything yet. I appreciate it, though. Now, when I've ridden in helicopters, especially on the Black Hawk, sometimes the pilots would kind of take a little bit of a rolling start and then just kind of lift off gradually. Other times it was like, no, they just go like you're riding on an elevator. They just go straight up and then they transition to forward flight. But you just never know what they're going to do. It's kind of like at their discretion. All right. We're almost there. I just don't want to. I was trying to practice this part as well. All right. We're just going to go ahead and get out over the runway and just go. Now, the cool thing is there's two cruise ships. There's one there and one right there. I flew over both of them the other day. There's an area where in theory, you could land a helicopter on there, but I didn't want to try it and fall through and then end up in the water. So there we are. So now the tricky part is I don't want to get too much altitude, so I have to trim the nose down. And then I'll gain speed eventually. So we don't want to get too high because I want to be able to see some of the scenery. But basically, I don't have my hands on the flight stick right now. I'm just adjusting the trim as Simhanger explained it. I can make small adjustments, and that's the key that he talked about was you don't make a lot of major adjustments right away. You just have to make small. You got to be very. It takes a lot of finesse, basically. All right, I think we can just go ahead and turn here. We don't need to go all the way out that way. That was the plan, but, plans change. I'm going to go ahead and turn off my landing light. There's the railway right there. There's the airport, flying back kind of over it, especially the parking area. We're going to fly right over that hotel. Yep, there it is. So in 2 weeks' time, we're going to do a flying tour of the San Francisco Bay Area in a helicopter. We're going to take off from a small airport south of San Francisco, and then we're going to go up through San Francisco, back around, and we're just going to take our time and just enjoy the scenery. We'll gas up the helicopter and go for as long as we can. Then we're going to land in San Jose. So there we are. So that's not too bad. I feel pretty good about yeah, this has been a little bit better than I expected. What do you think, Joseph? You like it so far? Is it pretty cool? Or you're like, it's not all that exciting? So the tricky part is we don't want to lose a bunch of altitude either. We don't want to overspeed. It looks good up to now. Oh, okay. Up to now, he says. So what you're saying is you think it's going to just, I'm going to end up failing, huh? So I got to just get a little bit back on the, I don't want to go too fast. So yeah, I mean, the scenery is okay here. It's not like super in detail because, this is basically photo. It's, from the air and they just. Okay, ads are coming in. We don't want to go down too far or too low. So yeah, that's the only tricky part. It just kind of it's you have to really pay attention to your speed and the attitude of the helicopter. Otherwise, you could either go way too far up or you just nose over and then it's just like you end up, going right into the ground or whatever. Or in this case, the water. So there we are outside. I'm going to try to get a picture real quick before we. Oops. Of course, it's going to start doing its thing. Oh boy. Yeah, I'm going to have to get a picture of that real quick. It's like totally turning. That's really strange. Uh-oh. So, yeah, if you use the controller, like I just did to take a picture, the helicopter kind of just does its own thing. That was odd. It just totally swung around. Huh. Okay. Well, let's get back on track then, I guess. I guess the helicopter decided, oh, I just want to circle around. I don't know what happened. Now, there is a way to kind of cancel out all the trims that I've done. I can hit my trigger button here on the flight stick, and it'll cancel out all the trim, and then kind of it should, in theory, go into a hover mode. Theory being the key word. I'm trying to keep an eye on the chat as well. So it shouldn't be the wind, doing this. Because the weathers should be clear, so there shouldn't be any major wind coming off of the hills here, or the mountains. But, you know. That's weird. My map is not moving. Huh. I lost my little... Or is that it? I can't really tell. No. Okay, that's all right. See, now we're getting a little too low. See, this is what I'm talking about. It's a bit more hands-on than flying a plane, because you have to really pay attention to how the helicopter is acting. Because if you don't, it's gonna go kind of all over the place, and then you're gonna lose altitude, and then you're gonna be like, "What the heck just happened?" So I want to try to get some altitude here, just a little bit. So yeah, it's kind of like flying. You got this kind of like a, worm effect, I guess. It's going to go up and down. It's very tricky. It takes a lot of practice to kind of get it just right where it's going to go forward, but not to the point that you're going to start either gaining too much altitude or losing too much altitude. Just trying to find that sweet spot. Because the hard part is if I fly this by hand, I'm going to have to put continued pressure on my flight stick, which is going to wear my left arm out pretty quickly. All right, I think we're kind of getting where we want to be. I just want to have enough altitude to clear that area right there in front of us. So yeah, when I saw this, the video, about this, train trip, I thought, man, this is an area I'd really like to go see in real life. But then I thought, well, if nothing else, this would be a fantastic opportunity for a flying tour on a Saturday. And it also made sense to try it on a helicopter because we can kind of get to see more of the scenery, versus if I was flying in a little plane, I'd be all over the place. And I wouldn't really be able to. I mean, it's kind of difficult to do this in stream and all that, but we're going to make the best of it one way or the other. Okay, so that one's working like that. All right. So basically, we just want to kind of cut through here. Or actually, we can just cut through this way. That's okay. Thank you all for coming in and hanging out today. Hopefully you enjoy this. One of the things that I had with that I noticed with Nightwind, and I hope he's still here. Anything worth doing, and this could be in flight sim or it could be in whatever in real life, it takes practice, and it just that's one of the great things is once you kind of come to grips with it, you can just really enjoy the doing something different. I'm going to come around here and just kind of, let's see if we can get it to hover. What do you think? Oop, up. Nope. Oh, that went really wrong. Ooh, I totally. Wow, I did not expect that. All right, I think it's kind of hovering. Okay, let me. There we go. We're hovering. Yeah, we're losing. We're kind of. Yeah, we're kind of hovering here. Look at that. Check that view out. All for the low price of free. All right, now we're gonna start getting our speed back up here. I gotta get the nose down. Wow, we are actually climbing. Nose down. Okay, there we go. We're almost at 4,000 feet. I did not want to get up that high. I wanted to try to stay a little bit closer, but see, that's the tricky part is, you know, learning the behaviors of the helicopters is not easy. Okay, let me press on that. There we go. Now, okay. I don't know why it did what it did, but okay. I want to try to stay over closer to the coast here. Boy, yeah. See, we're climbing. We're at nearly 5,000 feet, and that's not what I wanted. I was hoping to stay about a couple thousand feet so we could see the scenery a little bit closer here. So helicopters are supposed to feature a little bit more in the upcoming flight simulator, Flight Sim 2024. You can do rescue missions. You can do firefighting. You can do construction. So I think they're trying to get helicopters to be a bit more of a thing in the sim. It's just I think the flight model's a little bit. It can be a bit hard to get to grips with. Okay, see, now I'm speeding. Ooh, boy, I'm going way fast. I didn't want that. Okay, see, now we're dropping altitude like a brick. And I'm definitely going much faster than I want. Yeah. It says I'm like at almost 140 knots. Yeah, see, that's... Okay. See, this is what I was talking about. It's a bit difficult trying to find that sweet spot. The forward flight, because you have to kind of keep your nose down. Oh, okay. No worries, Amela. We're just cruising along here, trying not to crash. I think Joseph's kind of secret. Crash it, Rob. Crash it. Kidding, Joseph. Joseph wouldn't root for me to crash. No, never. So you look at that now, all of a sudden we're at 1,000 feet. And still dropping. No, never. Yeah. Uh-huh. Oh, that might be why, because I had it set. Slow-mo was like 30 seconds. Okay, so I got it to 5 seconds now. So maybe that'll be a little bit better for everybody. See, I'm losing altitude. I think I got to get a little bit more on the collective. So we... See, this is what I was kind of looking for right here. We got a little bit of forward flight. There we go. Now I just have to be careful I don't get too close to the water and then crash. I was watching Big Jets TV the other day, watching the landings at Heathrow, and they had a couple A380s coming in. Oh, the winds were crazy at Heathrow. Well, I tell you, those pilots were definitely earning their pay yesterday. See, this is kind of like how I wanted it to be. There we go. Something where we can kind of see the coastline, enjoy the scenery. There we go. That's what I was looking for. So we're kind of getting there. But it's very tricky. I don't want to lose too much. Yeah. And it was just amazing watching them come into Heathrow and just kind of they landed. Some of it was like they hit that butter landing. They nailed it. And yeah, it was amazing. I really enjoy watching his stuff. He and the great thing is he explains things to people. If you have a question or whatever, why does this do this or whatever, he explains it. If not, there's generally real world pilots, airline pilots are in the chat, and if they'll kind of break it down, the answer, because there was an A3, there was a plane, it was a British Airways, they went around at Heathrow, and everybody was like, why does this happen? Like the pilot kept the landing gear down. Everybody's like, if it was a wind shear, why would you keep the landing gear down? And a bunch of questions. But yeah, there's generally a bunch of pilots that are hanging out in there that he's kind of gotten close with. That whenever they fly, he'll say, so and so's going to here, and we're gonna watch him take off, and they'll try to wave from the cockpit, from the flight deck as they get ready to depart, if they happen to be departing from the same runway as, from where he's at Heathrow. And so it's a pretty cool thing, I think. Joseph, I think you'd like it. Have you ever... I've only been to Shannon, Ireland, but I was flying through there on my deployments. There was only one time that we stayed overnight because I think we had aircraft problems that they needed to work on it overnight. So they took us to some place way out in the middle of Shannon, and we stayed there, but we couldn't go anywhere. We weren't allowed to go anywhere. So that's the closest I've ever been to the UK. I'd like to go. There's things I'd like to see there. I'd definitely like to go to the Imperial War Museum and go watch the Spitfires fly and stuff like that. But I don't. Hopefully one day I will. So, yeah, that's the closest I've been to the UK proper is Shannon, Ireland. Oh, we're losing altitude again. I gotta gain some altitude back here. It's really tough to keep this thing trimmed out. Much tougher than it is in a plane, I'll tell you that much. So yeah, we're at about 11. See, this would be perfect. If I could get it to stay right around this altitude, I think this would be perfect. But trying to get it into that sweet spot, that's the tricky part. So we're on our way to Pisa. Oh, that's right. I took that off. Yeah, we're kind of getting off track here. That's all right. See, the tricky part too is my come on. I don't want it to start doing like it did before and then having to fight with it to get back on track here. Trying to keep it. It keeps wanting to go away from the coast, and I'm trying to keep it going towards the coast. No, I would like to go one day. I really would, but I like to come here, actually. I mean, when I saw that, I was just like, man, this would be fantastic to actually see in person. But yeah, it's maybe one day. If I could get the money together, I would definitely do it. But yeah, it would be amazing to go through here, I think. I was just in awe of how beautiful this area is in Italy. So, maybe one day. But yeah, I would like to. I just got to have the money to do it. Plus, I need to get my passport. So yeah, next Saturday, doing the D-Day flight in the Spitfire. On the 15th, another helicopter flight in the Bay Area. And then the 25th, I think I said we're going to fly in the BAE 146, but I gotta think about that one. It wouldn't be a very long flight from London City to Frankfurt, I think. And that would basically, I think, take us through all of June. Wrong button. And then I got to start looking for July. No streams at all in August. I won't even stream before I go. It'd be just too much to try to make sure I have everything set for my trip to California in August and try to do a stream. I don't know. I may do one. I don't know. Speaking of which, so Scruffy did a, and for any of you who are streamers, whether you're new or just looking for some tips on streaming in general. Scruffy's done a series. Yeah, I'm visiting family in Mela. I think he posted them on YouTube, talking about just tips for new streamers and all that. And he was talking about it on Monday, and I said, somebody should do one for tips for viewers of streams, because there's things that people do that kind of detract from viewing, and it's not just the streamer itself that it detracts from, but for the other viewers as well. And I thought, it'd be great if somebody could kind of say, there's some etiquette here that it's better if you follow this etiquette, because then it's enjoyable for everybody. But it's kind of a hard thing to do because, streamers, we want to be interactive with our viewers, obviously, but we don't, where's the fine line between that and a viewer kind of taking over the chat or taking over the stream? That's the tricky part, I think, is finding that fine line of interaction and everybody enjoying it versus somebody just coming in and it just makes it about them, So yeah, it's a bit difficult, but I was like, I think honestly, viewers should, they kind of forget, there's some, that, you get a person who comes in and says, well, you have to do it like this. I'm telling you, and it's like, well, if you want that, why aren't you the one streaming and doing it that way? I mean, it's a valid question. If you're that like adamant about it, why aren't you doing it yourself then? There's always some reason why, but it's like, well, but how is it okay for you to come in and make the demands of me? So yeah, I think it's finding that bit of fine line between the interaction and people just kind of just sitting back and enjoying things versus somebody taking over the chat and just making demands. And I don't know how, that's, I think, a tricky part for streamers as well. How can you politely tell somebody, no, I'm going to do it this way, and it's okay if it's not like perfect. I'm willing to accept that. I'm doing the best I can flying this helicopter. I think I've done pretty good, but it's not perfect. But this is a new experience for me. But yeah, it's a bit challenging, I think, and trying to find that sweet spot, I think, is even much harder than we want it to be. Because we do, I think, streamers in general, once you build up a community, you care about them as people. You want, you hope everybody's doing well and things like that. And of course, when people that we feel close to aren't doing well, we are obviously concerned about them, but then it becomes very it can get very personal, and things may get said that people don't want to know about either, so but yeah, but I think he's done a great job explaining things, and it really, for people who are trying to grow their channel, the difficult, at the end of the day, the most obvious answer to a lot of that is it just takes time and hard work to get there. And sometimes people don't want to do that. They want to They want the results, but they don't want to put in the effort, right? And some people, it doesn't. They're not trying to make money off of this. They're not trying to be famous. They just are trying to share a hobby that they care about, and that's okay too, you know. Ooh, look at this. You know, but some people, it's. I like to make things as realistic as I can, but there's also a limit. You know, part of it's time, part of it is, can I do all these things, or do I need to practice at it? You know. So, yeah. All right, so now we're just kind of in that sweet spot for now. Now well, see, just one little minor adjustment, and it just all goes wonky. All right, so we're almost at Pisa. I think we'll try the flight in Dubai. Yeah, we'll go for another one. Why not? Something different. But yeah, but I know, like I said, it's difficult to find that balance and getting that interaction without it becoming to be too much, So, and I think people have felt a connection to streamers, which is good, but also, sometimes I kind of got the sense that some people take advantage of that. Now, I'll give you a good example. I was watching Big Jets, and this was about 2 weeks ago or sometime last week. Somebody who is a member of his channel, right? They do subscriptions, and all that, right? Somebody came in talking or complaining that he doesn't do like what they want him to do. Oh, you need to do more military stuff. You need, and it was he was just kind of like really shocked that a member of all things, a member came in and said that to him, like, I want you to do these things and that. And he's like, whoa, where did this come from? I think he was genuinely like felt disrespected, but also stuff like a viewer will come in, and sometimes, like I said, it's even a member who will say, oh, well, so-and-so is doing this over here. And it's like, that sense of what do you call it? How they will talk about another streamer, what another streamer's doing. And it's like, well, okay, that's great, but you're here to watch me. We're not here to talk about what somebody else is doing. But yeah, he was like, of all the people to make that demand, a member, like he does a lot of stuff for members. Like he'll do streams that are just for members. And other times he'll say, okay, it's open for everybody. But he will say, members, what do you think? Because they're the ones that help fund everything he does. So if members say, no, we're just going to keep it for the members only, it's for the members only. Now, if it's something that, like when he was up at Anchorage and nobody had seen the Dreamliner before, the modified 747 that carries the parts for the 787. So it was like, let's everybody get an opportunity to experience that. And so, but otherwise it would have been for viewers only. And as soon as it took off, he said, okay, the rest of the stream, it's viewers only, or members only. Everybody else, we'll see you later. So yeah, but he was like, what? Of all the people that would make that demand like that. No, we're not at Pisa yet. We're at Saz. That's right. This is our first kind of waypoint here. I want to go in a little inland a little bit, and then we'll turn right. So yeah, so even when people are members, they make demands of a streamer. Big Jets TV. I tell you, he's amazing. Like his level of energy. That dude spent 2 days in Atlanta streaming, flew home, and was at Heathrow doing a show. Whereas most people would have said, I'm just really tired. I'm going to stay home and rest. I was like, how do you find the energy? He said, because if I was at home, I would be in bed and my sleep cycle would be all thrown off. And which is true, right? That makes sense. But I'm just like, dude, that is amazing. For you to put that kind of effort in for your viewers, that's like really cool. But yeah, it was really off-putting when somebody said that and everybody was like, dude, then why are you even a member? If you're not happy with what he's doing, you don't have to be here. And I think he even kind of alluded to that, like, well, if you're gonna make demands of me, I don't want you here. Oh, he's doing all right. He does streams. I think Sundays he's been doing the. He does like an airliner thing where he'll fly a couple of routes in. For a while he was doing in the 737, and I think he did one earlier this week in the new A320 that we got. So yeah, but he's doing all right. Boy, Pisa's still pretty far away, but okay. Well, look at those mountains. Look at that. I might have to fly a fighter jet through there. But yeah, but he's doing all right. But yeah, he's been doing jetliner stuff every once in a while. I think he usually starts at about 5 o'clock, 4 or 5 our time. I think it's 5 East Coast, so at 4 o'clock my time. But yeah, it's yeah. I think he kind of had to abandon the flight around the world. I don't remember where he got to before he stopped streaming for a while, focusing on work, and then but he's kind of back. But I think he's only doing them on Sundays now. But but yeah, it was really kind of a shock when I was in that stream when that guy came in and was complaining, and I was like, wow, that's pretty bold that you're a member and acting like that. That just that's not right. So that's why I'm talking about that etiquette of, don't come in and say, well, oh, I was just watching so-and-so and they're over here and that's not cool, because you're what's happening is, or what you're trying to do, whether you admit it or not, is you're trying to get people to leave watching this person and go watch somebody else. And that's not right. I mean, people put in a lot of effort, and for him, it's a time issue. Like he's like, I'd like to do more of this, but it's a lot of planning involved. And did I leave? I did leave the. There we go. So, when a streamer, whether it's flight sim or anything, when a streamer puts forth a lot of effort to try to get viewers to come in and hang out, and then somebody comes in and says, "Oh, well, so and so is doing this over here." Well, nobody cares what other people are doing. Like, I know Scruffy's flying the Oregon Trail right now, and I do care about that. And, if I hadn't had any plans today, I would definitely be flying with them. But, hopefully nobody's like jumping over there and watching him instead, But if they do, that's okay. Because sometimes they'll come back. But it's, I would prefer that people stay here. Not that, I don't want you to enjoy what Scruffy's doing. But, if I put in the effort to do this, then it's and you were like, I'd rather go watch this other thing instead. Well, then it makes me feel like my effort isn't appreciated, That's the tricky part. Because it is difficult sometimes to find stuff that may interest viewers to say, oh, he's going to be doing this. I want to go check that out because this sounds like something I really want to watch, right? But I know it's not super fast. Some people might go like, it's kind of slow, and it's not like it doesn't always feel like you're making forward progress, and but it's something different. That's the key. I think when we land in Florence, I'm going to take a little quick break because I kind of feel like if I leave the helicopter on its own, it's gonna do who knows what, and there is no autopilot in this, none. So it's not like I can throw on a switch and the helicopter will fly itself, on the next part of the trip. So, yeah, I'm a little bit. I mean, I could pause it, but that's not fair to you guys, But I don't want to. I gotta take my feet off the rudders here real quick. All right, so we're losing a little bit of altitude. See, it's one of those. See, it's kind of. I think that's kind of like what it would be like in real life. You drop a little bit of altitude, and then the pilot corrects for that, gain a little bit of altitude. It's very tricky to get to level flight or any kind of way that you're gonna kind of just make your way without. So we're at about 11. See, it keeps wanting to go turn to the right. I don't know why that is, but I gotta get it. I gotta get it back to the left a little bit. But yeah, I was thinking about that, and I was thinking about what Scruffy was talking about with just streaming, but I thought, really, it's something that there needs to be some kind of, and I think most streamers have like some very basic rules of, what's tolerated in the chat, what's not. Of course, we want everybody to feel welcome, right? But sometimes that can be very people can kind of take it the wrong way and then start demanding that uh, you know, things of a streamer as well. Well, I'm so welcome. I'm just going to take over the, like somebody I was watching the other day when I was watching Big Jets TV. Somebody, can you look for this aircraft? It was like they just kept, it's kind of like, I know, Mello, you know exactly what I'm going to get ready to say. It's like those people in Dovetail Games when they do a Q&A session. There's always those people that ask the same question constantly. And they have to be reminded, do not spam the chat, And then they get timed out. They still don't learn their lesson. Well, I'm going to keep asking the question now that my timeout is over. Well, now you're going to get banned, but they probably have like a boatload of accounts that they can just keep, going back and asking questions. And I think that's what that person had, because I blocked both of them. It was the same sort of question or demand. And I'm just like, okay, this person's definitely got like multiple accounts, it seems, on YouTube, because they were probably timed out or blocked before, and then they just switched to another account to continue asking the same question or making the same demand. So I think we're almost at Pisa. Let's zoom out just a smidge here. So how's life treating you there, Joseph? You doing okay? All right, that's basically, we still got a little bit of ways to go. That's all right. Yeah, it is. And I'm just like, I end up blocking them both because I was going to say something just on YouTube chilling. See, there we go. I finally fly a helicopter and Joseph's on YouTube chilling. I appreciate your honesty, though, Joseph. I really do. That's good. I'm glad to hear that. How's the weather over there? I've heard it. You guys have had storms too, haven't you? Like a lot of rain and stuff? I'm watching this at the same time. Okay. Is Joe live? Is Joe doing something? Is that it? Or is it what's his name? GTUK. I can't remember his name. Oh, different. Oh, okay. Yeah, we had rain this morning here. I woke up and it was just pouring down. I could hear it on the skylight in the bathroom. And it's doing it now too. Yep, I could hear the raindrops on the skylight again. Watching. That's all right, Joseph. I know you like to be everywhere at once. That's okay. Still love you, brother. Yeah, we've had thunderstorms, all kind of. It's supposed to storm like all this weekend here where I live. Yeah, this is definitely something different. Hopefully when we do the one in San Francisco, the flying tour there, I'll have a bit more of a feel for how to fly this thing. But yeah, this is definitely. I like this. I didn't think I would, but I was like, well, let me just give it a try and see how it goes. And if If it's a complete bust, if it's just like, yeah, it's just not, you know, it's too much work, whatever, then we wouldn't do it. But well, at least we'll do 2 of them this month, and then, you know, we'll get back to them again another time. But yeah, we'll do the flight over the in Dubai. We'll be on top of this huge tower. Now that tower is very famous. Somebody landed a Kit Fox. They kind of just floated it on in and stopped it before it went over the edge. And so we're gonna go over there next, and then we're gonna take off, and we're gonna head towards the Burj Al Khalifa Tower. Fly past that, we'll land in Dubai, and then we'll wrap things up for the day. So yeah, because I was thinking about it when I was, you know, practicing in this for this flight. I was like, I don't know how long it's really going to take, so I didn't want it to be too short. You know, like things went so well, we zipped right down the coast, and then bang, it was done. So I figured, well, I'll just add something, but we'll do one more just for fun. That's all right. What did my landing rate monitor clock me at? Oh, when I landed earlier, even though I didn't mean to land, it was a perfect landing. Let's see. Let me look at my. Is it ended? No. Okay. I did put in a flight plan, so on FS Hub. On FS Hub. I forgot. Today's flight brought to you by Pair of Socks Airline. Pair of Socks. Just because you have a pair of socks does not mean they have to match. Airline CEO and lead pilot Scruffy Tam will show you his mismatched socks. Even when he does straight. Oh, he's playing that on Thursday mornings. He does stray. We call it cat simulator. He's very well known for flight simming, but now he's cat simming. And he'll still wear his mismatched socks, and if somebody puts in the sock command, he'll still show them. We got a lot coming to the airline. I've been working on a lot of stuff. Coming soon will be kind of following the Silk Road from China, zigzagging through Iran, Iraq, up through into Turkey and over into Rome. It's going to be 12 legs. We're going to have that achievement. And then I'm going to find time. I got to find time to get, and I'm probably going to try to do it this month. Get all the stuff together for a friendship tour that took off out of San Antonio, Texas, and went into South America, crossed South America, up through the Caribbean, and up into Washington, D.C. This was after World War I, just probably about a decade before World War II. That this took place. So it's going to be about 55 legs as well. So I got to create an achievement for that. And then there's just going to be more stuff coming. We're going to go global, basically. It's just, it takes time. Like when I was putting together the stuff for the Silk Road, a lot of the airports in China do not exist. Like they did. Well, they didn't use airports back then, but it was very hard to find an airport near somewhere to kind of follow the trail. So I had to we were going to have 13 legs, but I had to dial it down to 12. But it should be very scenic as well. So yeah. If you're looking for fun stuff to do, come and join us on Parasox Airlines on FS Hub. I think I've got Yeah, there we go. You can be on the Xbox. You can be on the PC. It doesn't matter. It's a bit easier on the PC because when I land, it gives me my landing rate, and then it's like I completed the flight. I don't have to log it in manually like I did when I was on the Xbox. That's the only drawback. But yeah, everybody's welcome. You can fly whatever you want. You know, that's Scruffy's rules. No rules, just flight. You can fly any plane you want. You know, but it's just a great way to try, you know, find different things to do in the sim. You know, to just give you some ideas of different things to do. There's achievements. There's it tracks where you've been. You know, virtually. You get a little flag whenever you land somewhere that you've not been before. It tracks all the countries you've ever visited. So yeah, it's just a great way of finding things to do in the sim. All right, there's Pisa. And we're going to... Come on. This thing is kind of like fighting with me today. All right, there's the airport, which I think is a military airfield there in front of us, but we're gonna cut across through here, and then we're gonna hang a left, and then we're gonna head for Florence, and then we'll be in Florence before we know it. But yeah, it's just been pretty good overall, I would say. I've enjoyed it. It's just something new, something different. Ooh, a little stutter there. I'm just curious. LIRQ is what we're looking for. There it is. We don't have to do all that. I'll find I think runway 23 is the top runway. There's only one runway, but I think I gotta go. When we get there, we'll find it. All right, so here's that river I was talking about. We're gonna follow this to Florence. We're kind of headed. We're going to head through these mountains here. There should be a valley to follow. Should be being the key word. But as usual, if you didn't enjoy today's flight, you know who the complaint department is. Well, there's the big train station there in Pisa. That almost looks like a maintenance yard, actually, right there. The train route goes this way, so this looks like maintenance yeah, that's what that looks like, maintenance area. You know who to talk to if you didn't like today's flight. Complaints, there you go. Hello, Bex, how are you? What's new? I didn't expect to see you here. I thought you would be busy doing other things. Welcome. So yeah, we're on our way to Florence. If you watch the replay, it'll talk about the wine region there in Liguria. They have a mountainside winery. You know, these brothers grow their wine in the mountains, and they have their own like little rail system that brings the grapes down off the mountain, and then they make their wine down there. And then this other guy, he he makes the wine and he sinks it 50 meters down underwater, and it rests on the seabed 50 meters down. And when the program I was watching, he had let it sit for like 10 years. And it was his first batch. And he was, like, well, we're going to try a different number of years to have the wine down there aging. So they showed like a diver went down and put on a hoist system and brought the big crate back up to the surface, and the salt water kind of gets in the wine a little bit, but it does have like a little sparkle to it as well. So it's like a sparkling wine, but not champagne. But yeah, it was a really neat. If you want to Google it, it's called the World's Most Scenic Railway Journeys. This was in Italy. So yeah, if you can find it online, I don't know. I couldn't find it, but maybe you'll find it and learn more about what it is that they do and all that. But yeah, it was a really interesting TV program, but it's very scenic. Ads are ending here. I didn't realize we were in an ad break. I wasn't paying attention. But yeah, you came in. We're going to do one more flight after we land here in Florence. We're just kind of we're going to make our way to Florence here, and then we're going to do one more. We're going to go over to Dubai and take off from the Burj Al Arab Tower, go past the Burj Khalifa Tower, and land in Dubai. So we're going to go past the world's tallest building. That's the plan. And we're going to try to stick to it. So yeah, it's been a bit hectic at first, but the helicopter seems to kind of settle down. I don't know how or why, but it seems to be doing better than it did initially. But so yeah, next Saturday, D-Day, Spitfire action out of Lockheath, and then the following Saturday, the 15th, will be we'll do a helicopter tour, San Francisco, the Bay Area. Because I think it's just amazing to do this. It's a little bit slower. And, we get to kind of enjoy the scenery a little bit better. Because we got a really nice view. And I can look out the doors here. Either way. Got very big windows here so we can... That looks like winery right there. Look at that. You can see the... that's definitely grapes right there, I would imagine. If not olives, because olive oil is really big in the region as well. But, yeah, it's... yeah, it's been pretty good. Joseph's like, he's impressed, but not really. Isn't that right, Joseph? He's like, it wasn't easy. But there'll be more helicopter flights in the future. We'll do them every once in a while just to kind of break things up. Yeah, it'll be all right. Well, if you're not impressed, it's okay. You don't have to be. It's all right. It just took me a while to get to the point where I was like, let me try this. And I couldn't figure it out at first. Like, I was just struggling. Like, this doesn't make any sense. Why is it doing this or whatever? And then when I saw that video from Sim Hanger, and he was like, you got to map the controls and all that. I'm like, okay. That makes sense. So yeah, without that, I probably would have said, nah, I just can't get to grips with it. So it's interesting. It's different. It is much more hands-on, and again, I think that's more how it is in real life. It's not it's not something that you could kind of. I mean, I guess you could kind of set some of the controls, but you got to really have your hands on at all times. Otherwise, it could end badly. But no, I really, I like it. It's different. It's fun. It's not super fast, which is okay. So we get to kind of just, it's more chill, I think, more relaxing. But again, I know it's not for everybody, doing all this. So now the tricky part is going to be what's coming up here shortly is landing. So hopefully, what we're going to do is I'm going to transition. We're going to undo all the trim that I have already set in the helicopter. And then we're going to try to come in nice and slow. We're going to hopefully set down on the runway nice and easy. And then we'll taxi over to a spot and shut it down. And then we'll do the flight in Dubai after I take a short break. Gotta stretch my legs, and it's much harder to do because there is no autopilot. So it's not like when I fly the 737 or anything else that has an autopilot where I can go run to the restroom, move around. So it definitely takes more of your attention to do it. But I think it's worth it. It's been pretty good. I'll show the outside. There's our look at that little helicopter. Who's a cute little helicopter? Look at that. All by myself. I want to fly all by myself. Do-do-do. Do-do-do. Yep, it's a one-person helicopter. Just me, myself, and I. I think Joseph wants to order one for his crime syndicate now. He could land on the roof of the dodgy McDonald's, pick up his order, and take off. Right, Joseph? That would be awesome, huh? You just take off from your home, go to the McDonald's, land on the roof, somebody pops out, hands you your food, you run back home. That way the police don't know what you're up to. That'd be scary. Why? What's scary about it? I mean, what crime boss doesn't want his own little helicopter? Yeah. All right, we'll get you a two-seater, and you can have one of your. You can have a pilot take you. How about that? You could have a pilot on call 24/7. Take you to McDonald's. You could go like at middle of the night. You won't even have to walk down there. You get your pilot to take you down there. You bust in, get your chicken nuggets, and get out of there. Oh, all right. We should be getting near our destination here any minute now. Yeah, we'll do one more flight. I don't think the one in Dubai will take very long, but we'll just do one just to have a little bit more fun, and then we'll wrap things up. But yeah, I think this will work really well. I have practiced a little bit around the Bay Area. I did post a picture earlier this week. I forgot to post it right after I took it, but I was practicing in the Bay Area. I took a short flight from where we're going to be departing from and went down and landed at Moffett. So It was just kind of getting the feel for the new. I don't actually know. I don't think I had mapped the controls yet when I did that flight. So, yeah, after I did that, I was like, well, let me just kind of practice taking off or just, hovering a little bit to get to our departure runway, or at least close enough to it that, so, yeah. So yeah, I got to come up with the stuff for July, and then no streams at all in August. I maybe I'll do one before I leave, but right now I'm like, I'd rather just focus on getting ready for the trip. But we'll see. If I can do it, I'll do one. But I don't know what I'll do though. So we'll see. But I got to come up with July stuff. And then and once I'm back, I'll come up with stuff for August, and then through the rest of the year. But I tell you, if I could afford it, I would definitely go to Leggera, fly into Genoa, or even into Nice, and then take the train along the Italian Riviera. It was just, I tell you, if you get a chance to watch, you could find that episode. It's absolutely mind blowing. The beauty of the area, the food, the wine, the scenery. It's just, yeah, it's amazing. So yeah, if I could afford to do it, this is definitely on my bucket list. What I think I'd like to do, if I could afford it, I'd fly to Germany, spend some time in Germany, where I was stationed at, and go through Frankfurt or Heilbronn, Heidelberg, Stuttgart, on down into through Austria into Italy, down the Italian Riviera. I think that would just be a fantastic trip. But I don't want to do it like in a week, because then I just wouldn't, it would definitely have to be a month or two, at least a month and a half, which is, pretty expensive. But if I could find reasonable places to stay, and all that, I would totally do it. I think it'd be a once in a lifetime experience. And, yeah, I'd definitely like to do that. But I definitely got to get my passport. So, thank you all for coming in and hanging out. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. Oh, look at all those, that farmland. That's either wine or olives, I would imagine. Or grapes and olives, not wine. Grapes and olives, I would think. Maybe a mixture of both. But yeah, I've been wanting to get back to Germany just to kind of revisit places I've been to before and see how much it's changed and all that. All right, I think we should be getting close to our destination here. Yep, there's our destination right there. So we're getting there. Yeah, it's very hard to learn how to talk it, which is weird because when I took German language class, right, at Syracuse, I took 2 semesters. Now, when I was in Germany, we had to go through a 2-week course. They called it German Head Start. It was just like basic, very basic German, asking for directions, how to order food and beer and stuff like that. But what we discovered eventually was that most Germans wanted to speak English because they wanted to practice it. So we would be like, okay, well, I'll speak English to you. I don't care. Whereas we should have insisted, like, no, it's your country. We should be speaking your language. So, but when I learned German, I learned the southern dialect of German. And apparently, over the years, that whole southern-northern dialect thing has been kind of changed as far as they don't want people to speak it like that. So a lot of the things that I learned how to pronounce, my teacher, no, that's not the right way. You're not pronouncing it correctly. And I'm like, well, I thought I was, no, you're not. I'm like, okay. Yeah, it's a very tough language to learn. It's definitely not easy to learn how to write either. And we had to give presentations, and you're limited in your vocabulary, right? To try, like, we had to pick a book that was originally in German and talk about it. And so I picked All Quiet on the Western Front. And you had to read it and be able to kind of give an overview of it, but you had to do it in German. Well, how you would normally do it, the words that you would use, no, you can't use those words because they're not words we've talked about yet. You don't know that vocabulary. Well, how can I get my point across? Now you're telling me to speak in a mixture of German and English. Well, that doesn't really help, So yeah, it was a very difficult class to get through. But it, I just like to go back one more time. Well, I've not been back since I left. I'd like to go at least once in my lifetime, go back there and see how much it's changed. I mean, it's easy to see it from the air, right? We've done flying tours and we've talked about it. But on the ground, I think it's a much different experience. So I want to go there and experience it and take pictures and all that. Speaking of which, so when I do the train, and I'm going on the train again, I'm just going to put that out there. I am doing a train trip to California again. This time, I get to go through Washington Union Station up in Washington, D.C., so I'll take pictures when we get there as much as I can. But I will be posting pictures like I did before when I took the train out there last year for Thanksgiving. The scenery it'll probably be very similar, but there shouldn't be as much snow as there was when I went in November, early December. So, it was like November. I think I came back just like 1st or 2nd of December. I got into Birmingham. I can't remember, but so it should be a pretty nice trip, very scenic. But yeah, I'm really kind of excited about going through Washington Union Station. I've never been there, so this will be something new for me as well. So yeah, looking forward to that. What runway did they say? 23? I think so. Yeah, 23. Okay. So we'll fly over. We'll find the runway, and then we'll transition and try to hover and just kind of slowly make our way down and put it on the ground. I think we're pretty much just about there. I see it on the edge of the map there. So it should be pretty much straight in front of us, just about. Or actually, nope, there it is right there. Ta-da! All right, we're going to kind of head that way. So yeah, I'd definitely like to go. That's on my bucket list as well. But part of it is just getting the money together to do it. I could probably, before I go on my trip, I think I'm going to try to get the application in for my passport, so I have that, and then eventually, hopefully, I get my then I'll get the money together for the flight and all that. So yeah, I'll probably try to fly into Frankfurt and then take the train down to Heidelberg, spend a day or so in Heidelberg, go down to Heilbronn, spend some time in Heilbronn, go down to Stuttgart. Definitely spend some time. I'm going to go ahead and snooze the ad because we're getting ready to land. And then make my way down into Italy and all that. So it's something I wish I'd done while I was there. But, you know, when you're young, you don't think about traveling and all that. So I've never been through Belgium. I really wish I had traveled more when I was there. I really do. I regret that I was foolish with my time and didn't go see all these things. The only thing that I did get to do was go to Spain, which I really enjoyed. We've talked about that before as well. So, all right, so we're looking for runway 23, which I think is the one right here. So, based on which way we're heading, our compass 23 should be down at this end. So we're gonna come back around and hopefully put this thing on the ground nice and easy. Easy breezy Joseph Adams. Yeah, I would like to visit Belgium. I think that would be fantastic. So the airport, this is it basically down here. So we want to come in this way anyway. And yeah, so our runway's down here. That should be 23 right there. Yeah, there we go. All right, so now we're kind of going into a hover. I'm going to go ahead and edge it forward so we still move forward. And then I'm going to swing the tail around and so we got to drop altitude, right? We got to do that. Wow, look at all these buildings here. Where'd our airport go? Where did the airport go? Oh no, we lost the airport. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Oh, right there. Okay. We found it again. It found us. All right. That's okay. We're going to come back around here. Get some out. Get some throttle on. So collective, I should say. We don't want to start auto rotating. Very tricky to get this thing on the ground. It may take us several attempts. We got plenty of fuel, so if we have to go around, that's okay. No, forward. Forward, you dummy. No, no. Forward. Not up, just forward. There we go. Ooh. Ooh. Ah. Nobody liked that one. Okay, the screams meant, ooh, 730 negative. Ooh, that's dangerous. Now, what I could do, yeah, that's okay. It's the first time. I wasn't expecting it to be perfect, but that wasn't bad. I don't think. I mean, it could have been better, but overall, I think it was a pretty for our first time. We're just gonna zip to the right here. Oops, 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 oops. Going a little too high. Oh, oh, on the grass. You know what? That's all right. We're off the runway. We'll just shut it down here. There we go. See, but I don't get credit for the takeoff and landing. But on, let's see what happens on, oh, it gave me credit on, oh, yeah, see. I have to change. I'll just put it as, yeah, we'll just do that. Update. Okay. Okay. There we go. All right, go back to main menu. All right, let me take a quick break, and I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to let the ads play, and then we'll do one more. So I'm going to go ahead and get that set up. So we want to go to OBAR. Oh, it's nighttime. So we're gonna mess with the time just a bit, just so that we can see everything. I think that'll work. And our arrival's going to be right here. But we're going to fly past here. Okay. I did find Abu Dhabi, which is right here. I was thinking about coming down this way, actually, but it's a long. It would probably be too long. But I did find. You can see it from the air. There it is. There's Yas Marina Circuit, and there's the big Ferrari World thing down in Abu Dhabi. So maybe we'll do that one of these days. All right, let's go in here. Now the cool thing is, like I said before, the helicopter will be already started up since we're starting on the helicopter pad itself. But yeah, this has been fun. Something different. I like it. I'm glad hopefully everybody's enjoying it. Bella liked it. All right. So you can see right there, you can see the big tower. That's where we're going to head for. So we're not even, I mean, this is pretty far up, right? This tower here that we're on. Let me get outside here and I gotta. So this is the tower that we're on, right? Ooh, boy, look at that drop. Whoa. But look at this in the distance. This massive building right here. That's what we're going to head for first. I'm going to get a picture of us on the helipad here. Ooh, come on. Come on. Boy, this thing is... Oh, you're being a butthead now. Why is it not wanting to do the picture thingy? Hold on. I gotta find my game bar system. There we go. All right. Got it. Yes, it is, Joseph. You're right. It is. Oh, come on. I didn't want the store. All right. We'll let the ads play, and then we'll get in the air. But yeah, look at that. With the clear weather, you could see. I mean, how can you miss that big building right there? That building's much higher than us, Joseph. That is the tallest building in the world, right there, off to our right a little bit. So yeah, I just figured we'd try something fun. But yeah, this is the area in real life. A pilot in a Kit Fox landed on this little helipad in a plane. So they came in this way from behind us and landed on this, stopped, and then they took right back off. They kind of went over the edge and then took off. And away they went. All right, let me refresh this. So I'm thinking once the ads are done, then we'll get in the air and go do this, and then we'll be done for the day. So thank you all again for coming in and hanging out. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. You know who to talk to if you haven't. I tell you, I kind of miss flying in a helicopter or riding in one. I didn't fly it. I just rode in the back. But it's a really unique experience. If you ever get a chance to do it at least once in your life. It's so different than flying in a riding in the back of a plane or whatever. It's fun. If you like roller coasters, you'll like riding in a helicopter. If you don't like roller coasters, you might not like it so much. You might go like, yeah, my tummy feels yucky now. But yeah, if you ever get a chance to do it, even if you just do a flying helicopter, most places have like helicopter tours of cities and whatnot. If you could do it once, just do it. You won't regret it. It's a unique experience, I can tell you. So, all right, ads are done here. Just about. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of just go ahead and. No, I can't even do that. Okay, that's cool. I got to get a little power on, and we're going to swing the tail around to the. We want to turn just a smidge to the right. Okay, ads are over. There we go. Just a little bit more. All right, there we go. That'll work. All right, let's go. I'm going to hand fly this most of the way, so if I miss anything in chat, I apologize in advance. So I'm just going to get us kind of... No, you squawk 7566. Man, look at the size of that thing as we get closer. It's like flying up close to the Death Star in Star Wars. That's no ordinary space station. Man, it is just amazing that you could build something that tall. Holy crap. I'm sorry. I mean, I could not go up to the very top of that building and look out. I think I would pass out. I cannot handle heights at all. I've tried to like find a way to deal with it, but it is not as easy as somebody unfollowed me. I had 247. Now it says 246. Oh well. They come and they go. That's all right. Not everybody's cup of tea. That's okay. I just noticed that. Yeah, look at that. Yeah, I couldn't make it past like just down here. I think if I walked to a window, if I was way up here and looking at a window, I'd probably pass out. I'd just be like, no, I can't do it. Somebody must not have liked my rant about making demands of streamers. It wasn't really a rant. It was just an observation. That's all. Oh, well. What can you do? You can't make everybody happy. Right? So we're at about 2,100 feet. And this thing is like 2,700 feet, almost, I think 28. At the very tippy top there is, they include from the very tip all the way down to the bottom there. But yeah, you couldn't get me in that building. I'm sorry. Nope. I could not do it. But there we are, the world's tallest building. Burj Khalifa Tower. Everybody wave high as we go by. Yay! All right. So there we go. You got. Where else can you get this kind of entertainment for the low price of free? All right, there's Dubai right in front of us. We're going to go ahead and tell them we're coming in for landing. Oh, 30 left. Okay, let me go fly over the airport and find our runway. Well, I'm going to try to find the. Oop. Little stutter there. Yeah, it'd be kind of foolish for me to try to find the charts and all that while I'm. That's okay. We'll find it. I think it's over here because if we're heading east and north is right there, 3-3 is just close to the north, so I think we just got to pass over here and then we'll, it's just on the other side there. So 3-0 left should be over here somewhere. So we'll land and then we'll get off the runway and then we'll end it there. So hopefully this second time is a bit better than the first one. We'll find out here in a minute. Where are my runway markings? Why not? Okay, there's one runway. I see there. That should be 30 left. I mean, we're heading, but I don't know. Sometimes the compass is a little wonky. I don't always trust it, but at least we know which way we should be facing. Oops. Nope, that's 12 left. Okay. So we gotta go, we'll just go right through the middle of the airport here. Now we know where, so 30 left will be, we're just kind of fly down this way. The heck with it. Breaking the laws, breaking the laws. So what do you think, Joseph? What's your overall impression of the helicopter flying today? Did I do a pretty good job, or you're kind of like, yeah, I don't know. I'm not convinced. It's okay if you're not. I mean, I think I did okay. I mean, it's not perfect. It's one of the... Oh, thank you, Joseph. Hey, Joseph signed off. He says, you're an official helicopter pilot. I'd hire you. You can't afford me, Joseph. You really can't. Well, I'm glad you liked it. Yeah, it was, I tell you, it was a bit difficult to figure out what to do and how to do it, but it's definitely been worth it, I think. So, yeah. I like it. I'm glad it's, you know, it's not perfect, but yeah, like I said, it's something different. So, yeah. Well, thank you all again for coming in and hanging out. Thank you, Bex, for showing up. I know you was busy with other activities, so it was nice to see you pop in. Didn't expect that. We're back next Saturday, same time, same channel, Spitfire D-Day flight. So hopefully that'll go well. It's been a while since I've flown the Spitfire, so I don't really know what to expect. All right, hopefully this time we can make it, because we got this whole long runway, right? I'm going to just try to float it down the runway, nice and easy. That might have been better. If I didn't, no, you would not. Come on now. All right, how was that one? No, see, I didn't get a... Oh, okay. Well, that's all right. I beat a Milla, told you, Bex. No, you told me that you weren't going to be available. It's all right. You didn't have to... If you were busy, you didn't have to come in. It's all right. Ooh. No, you got... Well, see, it didn't give me a landing rate. I think that one was better. You're right, Joseph. Thank you. It did feel a little bit better. But yeah, that was good. I like that one. Even though if I didn't get a landing rate. I mean, I didn't put a flight plan in, but that's okay. It's all right. I enjoyed it. Thank you, Mella. Yeah, it was a fun little extra. You know, little add-on to do. I just thought it would be fun to fly by that giant freaking building. Man, that is impressive. Ooh. Oh, see, now it does it. Come on. Really? I didn't get nothing the last time. Now all of a sudden, no, you... Okay, that was negative 495. Man, I'm just getting jacked. Come on. Come on, the other one was fantastic. It had to have been nothing. And now all of a sudden I sat down by the thingy here and it says, oh, you negative 495. Come on now. That's nonsense. Man. Oh, well. No, I'm not going to do all that. I'm going to show my discontent with that landing rate and go right over here and find a parking spot and shut it down. It is tough just trying to come up with some kind of a taxi here. It's not easy, but there we go. We're just going to park it right here. Oh, what the heck? We'll even go right up here. Watch this. You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna just side slip it right on in. Okay. There we go. Ta-da. All right, let's get everything turned off here. We'll get the, let's get the, oh, come on. There we go. 13-minute flight. Yeah. So yeah, it just takes practice. You can kind of just make it hover and just slide to the left or right, you know, like they do in some situations, helicopter pilots do. But yeah, that was fun. Yeah, something different. So there we go. Did I get credit for that one on FS Hub? Hold on a second. Let me look. Oh, nope, I did. That's all right. That's okay. It was just a short little flight anyway. Anyway. All right. You're welcome, Joseph. I'm glad you did. That was fun. That was something different. So, yeah, I really like that. Hold on, let me just take care of. Here, we'll snooze that. Just gotta do something here real fast, and we'll wrap things up. All right. So yeah, thank you, Mella. Appreciate it. Yeah, nice to see everybody here. Hopefully you enjoyed it. I will see you next Saturday, 8:30 Eastern or 8:30 Central, 9:30 Eastern, 2:30 UK, all that blah blah blah. Spitfire D-Day flight. So we'll do that one, and then we'll be back in the helicopter in 2 weeks' time. The 15th, we're going to do the Bay Area. Hopefully, we'll have some better landing. I did think that other one, the second one here, when I actually touched down the runways, was better. So we'll see. But yeah, that was good. Laters, backs. So, yeah, thank you all for coming in. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday morning, afternoon, evening, early. You too, Joseph. Early Sunday, depending on where you are in the world. I have been and always shall be your host, pilot, lead singer, and driver of the helicopter this time, Uncle B. Until then, peace. Live long and prosper.